Stunning metal coffee tables can completely change the vibe of a room. Today, we are looking at designs you won't be able to stop staring at. Let's dive in. Alright, let's start with this industrial two-tier coffee table. I love this combo. That extra shelf underneath is perfect for stacking up your favorite books, sliding in a basket with extra blankets, or tossing the remote when done watching television. The metal frame gives a strong, steady look, and the wood balances it so it doesn't feel too cold. That blend of warm and cool materials is what makes it so versatile. The hidden challenge is making sure the welding on those joints is clean and strong enough to handle the extra weight on the bottom shelf. If the welds aren't solid, you notice wobbly right away. To me, this is the kind of piece that makes your living room work harder for you. Would you go for a table like this in your home, or do you prefer something sleeker and more minimal? This one is a round glass coffee table with those conical gold metal legs. The glass instantly makes the space feel more open and airy. Those gold legs anchor the whole thing with this modern, elegant flair. Glass always feels a little fragile, but when it is paired with a strong, well-built metal base like this, it feels high-end and steady. Those legs have to be perfectly aligned and perfectly welded. That precision is what separates a great piece from a cheap one. I can see this table in a modern apartment or a glam living room. Will you go for a glass and metal piece like this, or do you prefer something a little more solid and grounded? Wow! This one screams industrial the moment you see it. A 36-inch round coffee table with a rustic wooden surface sitting on a steady metal base. The round shape softens the look so it doesn't feel too harsh or boxy. The rough textured wood on top instantly adds warmth and character, while the metal base keeps it grounded and tough. If you go too glossy, you lose that rustic charm and it starts looking fake. Too matte and it can look unfinished. This is a table for people who love furniture with personality. I could see this becoming the centerpiece in a cozy living room or in a stylish coffee shop. Would you go for this rustic industrial look, or do you prefer something sleeker? A 48 oval coffee table with a built-in drawer. The oval shape already feels softer and more elegant compared to the usual square or rectangular tables. The drawer is what makes it stand out. Coffee tables always end up collecting clutter. It keeps the surface looking clean while still being practical. The challenge is making that drawer glide smoothly inside a rigid metal frame. If it sticks, wobbles, or feels cheap, it totally ruins the experience. I can see this as a statement piece in a living room. Will you go for something flashy like this, or stick with a neutral industrial look? Okay, marble and gold. This modern coffee table with a natural stone top just radiates elegance. The white marble instantly elevates the whole design, and the gold metal frame underneath makes it pop even more. The marble is beautiful and also heavy, which means the craftsmanship on the frame has to be rock solid. Those welds, joints, every connection has to be flawless to hold that weight without bending or loosening over time. To me, This feels like an investment, something you buy to make a statement about your style. Will you go for bold with marble and gold, or will you play it safe with something lighter and more casual? Here is a rectangular industrial coffee table with a rustic wood top. That longer design is practical, especially if you've got a big sectional sofa or an open living area. What I like about this kind of piece is how versatile it feels. You can picture it in a modern apartment with clean lines, or in a farmhouse styling living room. Wood like this has to be properly treated. If it isn't sealed or finished correctly, over time it can warp, crack, or even lose the rich rustic tone. Industrial tables sometimes get labeled as rough or unfinished, but the best ones are carefully balanced. Will you go for this kind of longer table, or do you lean more toward round designs? This modern industrial coffee table with a full metal frame is perfect. It is the kind of piece that instantly appeals to people who love minimalism. The beauty of a design like this lives in the craftsmanship. The wall seams have to be smooth and invisible. The powder coating needs to be even so it doesn't chip or scratch easily. And the sharp angles have to line up flawlessly. When it is done right, it is modern and it let the space around it shine. I could see this in a loft or an office lounge. Will you bring a metal coffee table like this into your space? Or do you prefer mixing in wood or glass for a softer balance? Here is an oak metal coffee table. I think square tables don't get nearly enough love. Everyone always go for round or rectangular, but square tables work really well, especially in balanced open spaces. What I like here is the pairing: rustic wood top and modern metal on the base. It feels approachable but stylish. The square shape make it compact, which is perfect if you don't want a table that overwhelms the space. From a market perspective, I can see younger homeowners or people furnishing their first apartment loving this style. Will you choose a square table for your living room, or do you think round and rectangular still win the popularity contest? This one grabs attention. A modern round coffee table made entirely of hammered iron. The texture is the star here. It instantly makes the table stand out from anything else. You can tell this kind of finish isn't easy to pull off. It takes a lot of hard work. What I love is that this design doesn't rely on wood or glass to add character, but rather the metal itself becomes the artwork. You could totally see this sitting in a modern loft or even as a standout piece in a more traditional room. This is one of those tables guests will comment on as soon as they walk in. Would you go bold with a textured hammered metal table like this, or will you stick with something smoother and more polished for a cleaner look? Lastly, we've got this gold metal coffee table with antique detailing. Those antique style patterns give it this nod to the past. It instantly makes the table feel more unique. That detailing adds personality, so it doesn't just blend in with the rest of the furniture. The challenge is making sure those patterns are precise. I love how this table blends that sense of history with a modern finish. Definitely a piece for someone who wants their furniture to spark conversation Will you go bold with antique detailing or keep your table sleek and simple? Alright, that is our tour of stunning metal cafe table designs. Which table will you bring home? Drop your pick in the comments. Enjoy these designs? Hit subscribe and join me for the next masterpiece. Until then, thanks for watching.